In this section of Windows 11 course, I'll be installing the Windows 11 operating system using VMware Workstation. So this is the VMware Workstation which I'll be using to install the Windows 11 operating system. I have already downloaded the Windows 11 ISO file from Microsoft website. So this is the ISO file which I'll be using to boot the Windows 11 operating system. I'll quickly create the virtual machine and I'll point to the ISO image which I have downloaded. So this is the ISO image. I'll click on next. I'll click on next. I will I will use Windows 10 for the operating system 64-bit, and I will name the virtual machine as Windows 11. I will use secure boot. I'll click on next. For CPU, I'll choose 2, and for the cores, I will select 2, and I will use 4096 for the memory, which is 4 GB memory. For network, I have selected NAT, and for rest of the things, I will keep everything as default, and I will store the virtual disk in a single file, and next, I'll finish. So before powering on the virtual machine, we need to modify some of the settings for the virtual machine. This is as per the knowledge base. So this knowledge base has all the information and what are the settings which we need to modify. This is because we are running the Windows 11 operating system on a VMware workstation as a guest operating system, because of which we need to modify these settings. And also we need to check if the hardware requirement, whatever we have configured for the virtual machine, is meeting as per this Microsoft document. So this is the bare minimum hardware requirement for installing the Windows 11 operating system. So let us modify the virtual machine settings. So this we have already set, and the hardware requirement is also configured. The next setting is we need to edit the VMX file, and we'll go to the VMX file of the virtual machine. So we have the virtual machine here, and we have the VMX file. I'll open with Notepad, and I will save this. And so what I will do is I'll close this and reopen the VMware again, because we have modified the file, VMX file. I'll power on the virtual machine now. Let us see if we are able to successfully boot. I'll click on next. I'll select install now. I'll select the Windows 11 Home and select next. Now we have successfully got the dialog box of the license agreement. Now I will install the, I will use the drive. I'll click on next. So this is how you will be able to set up the Windows 11 operating system. It is going to take some time. Once all the files are copied, then we are ready to set up the Windows 11 operating system, and we will be able to log into our Windows 11. Yeah, the setup is almost complete and it is going to reboot. This is the first reboot after copying the files. I can even restart. This is the first screen what you will see if you have bought your laptop or computer desktop with Windows 11 pre-installed. I'll select the country and I have to select the country as India, and I'll click on yes. I'll set up the keyboard. I'll choose the default US keyboard, and I'll skip this. Once Windows 11 installation process checks and updates the Windows 11 operating system, this will be the next screen what you will be seeing. This is the name what you will give for the computer to be discovered by other people on the network. I can simply enter PC. I can click on next. I'll skip for now, or I'll click on next. So this is how the computer will be discovered by the other people on the network with the name what you have given, which is PC. So this is the next screen what you will see. You have to sign in with your Microsoft account. If you don't have your Microsoft account, you can create one using this option to create one. I will come back once I have signed in. Until then, I will pause the video. I have logged into the Windows 11 operating system for the first time successfully with the user ID 𝐃𝐞𝐬𝐜𝐫𝐢𝐩𝐭𝐢𝐨𝐧. And also, if you can see, the display resolution is not correct and the screen size is also very small. For that, what you need to do is, you need to install the drivers which are supplied by the laptop maker or desktop maker. You can visit their website and download and install the drivers. It will be either Intel drivers or AMD Radeon drivers for the graphics. Once you have installed all the necessary drivers like chipset driver, display driver, audio driver, network driver, sound drivers, then you can go on installing the application software. In this section of the Windows 11 course, after installing the operating system, let us log into the Windows 11 computer for the first time. I am using the user ID 𝐃𝐞𝐬𝐜𝐫𝐢𝐩𝐭𝐢𝐨𝐧. With the password for the 𝐃𝐞𝐬𝐜𝐽𝐜𝐽𝐽, I should be able to log in to the computer. Logging on, signing on is entering inside your Windows operating system. If I use the password for the 𝐃𝐸𝐬𝐜𝐽𝐜 user ID, I should be able to enter into the Windows 11 operating system. Without logging on, I can even restart the computer, shut down the computer. I can even turn the computer into sleep mode. If I click on the network icon, I can see the network is connected and it has the access to the internet. If I click on keyboard layout, I can see what are the different keyboard layout which I am using. I will enter the password for the user ID 𝐃𝐸𝐬𝐜𝐽𝐜. Once I am successfully logged into the Windows 11 operating system, I will get a desktop, which will be a familiar desktop. So this is a desktop what you will see. This is the familiar desktop what we will see in every Windows operating system. Once you sign in successfully, you will see this particular desktop. If I right click on the start menu, you will see a different menu options. If you simply click on the start menu, you will see a different menu options. These are recently used applications what you have used, so that you can access these applications without any issues seamlessly. And the portion whatever you are seeing here, this portion is called as taskbar. You can also see there is a date and time option. This section is called as system tray. In the system tray, we can see there is a date and time. We can see there is a volume control icon over here, and there is a network icon. And we can also see there are some of the applications which have started automatically when the computer starts. After installing the operating system for the first time, we need to check for the Windows updates. So I'll go to Start and Settings. I'll click on the Settings option. I'll click on the Windows Update over here, and I can see what is the status of the Windows Update. If you have not installed the Windows Update, you can install all the updates before installing any other applications. So you install the operating system, you install all your drivers, and you check for the updates for the Windows Update, latest update, if it is installed or not. If it is not installed, then you can install all the updates. So I'll install all the recommended updates for the Windows 11 operating system. and I will see you in the next section of the Windows 11 course. In this section of the Windows 11 course, after installing the operating system, we need to download and install the drivers. Let us assume this is for demo purpose. Let us assume I am using HP laptop. I need to visit the HP website. I need to select the model number of the laptop which I am using. I will click on Home Laptop. I will choose any one of the model. I will select this model, which is HP Pavilion model. And to download and install the drivers for a specific model, you need to select the model name. So this is the model name of HP laptop for which I need to download and install the drivers. So I will click on support. Then I need to select this option which is called software and drivers. Click on support, click on software and drivers. Here I need to select for laptop and search for the model name. You have to select your operating system. I'll select the operating system. If you have installed service pack, then you can select the Windows 11 version with the proper service pack. I will submit. You will see all the drivers listed here. So these are the drivers for this particular laptop model. For each laptop vendor and each of the model, there will be a specific driver which you need to download and install. For this particular model, this is the driver which I need to download and install. For audio, you can see what is the latest version of the audio driver, and this is the latest version. So I need to download and install Realtek audio driver. And for the BIOS, I can see this is the latest driver which I need to download and install. Also, if you want to download and install the chipset driver is also there. You can download the latest version of the chipset driver and install. And for network driver, network Bluetooth, select the latest version, download and install all these drivers which are required for your operating system. Most of the laptops will come with their default utility built in. It will connect to the internet and connect to the manufacturer website. Check for the latest drivers which are applicable for that particular model. It will automatically download and notify for the new drivers which are available at the manufacturer website. You can download these drivers and install on your computer desktop or laptop. In this topic of Windows 11 course, we will see how to install the drivers for a specific laptop manufacturer. In the earlier video, what we have seen is we have gone to the HP website and we have downloaded the drivers for the specific model. Since this is a virtual machine which is running on the VMware, for me there is no need to install. Just for the sake of demo, I have downloaded the drivers and I will demo how to install the drivers. We will go to the download folder where all the drivers are downloaded. So this is the download folder where all our drivers are downloaded. I want to extract all these files to install the drivers. To extract the file, I will double click on the driver file. This is specific to the audio driver. This is a Realtek high definition audio driver. I'll click on yes and I'll click on next. I will accept the agreement. I'll click on next and I wanted to save all the drivers in one particular folder. So I will save in the same folder under HP Pavilion directory and I'll click on next. So this exe file is getting extracted and it will be stored in this folder. So this is for the audio driver. The extraction is complete. So once we have downloaded, we need to execute this particular application. We need to execute as administrator. I'll right click on the exe file and I will click on run as administrator. to execute this particular file. If there is no chipset which is meeting for this driver, it is not going to install. So we don't have any chipset for the Realtek audio driver. Definitely it is not going to install. And it is same for the display driver as well. If I double click on this, this is for WLAN. And if I want to extract, I can select, I will accept the license, and I will again, I will use the same folder for extraction, HP Pavilion, and this is for WLAN, and I will extract in the folder. So this is for WLAN, and if I want to extract the driver for the display, this is the driver for the display what I have downloaded, and this display driver is for Intel chipset. So this is Intel high definition graphics driver, and accept the license agreement, and again I will use HP Pavilion. This is for graphics. I'll create a folder so that there is no confusion which driver is for which chipset. So this seems to be a big file, so it is still getting extracted. And once all the files are extracted, you can double click on the folder and select the application which you want to install. Right click and select run as administrator so that the driver get installed. If you are installing a graphics driver or any other driver which is not as per the hardware requirement, then it is not going to install. That you need to keep in mind. So now none of the drivers are getting installed because I am using virtual machine on top of the VMware workstation. So now once the graphic drivers has been installed, we need to set the resolution for the display. There are multiple ways how you can set the resolution for the display. Either you can click on the blank desktop area and select the display settings. You can select this way, and you can select the display resolution from here and choose the correct display, or you can click on the start button and select right click and choose the settings. In the system, you can click on the display, and from here you can choose the resolution, or you can simply click on the start button. Either you can click on settings or you can search for display here. You can just type display. You'll see the display settings. So either way you can come to the display section and you can select the resolution. Since my base laptop is 1920 by 1080 resolution, I will select the 1920 by 1080, which is full HD resolution. I'll click on this and I will keep the changes. Now the resolution is changed and my Windows operating system looks better and the display is also proper. I will close the window. In case if you wanted to install the driver, you can right click like this, select the device manager and choose the display adapter over here. Right click the display adapter, go to the properties and click on the drivers and then click on update driver. You can browse for the driver file. Since we have located all our file under my documents, download, and this is for graphics. I can just mention the path I can specify the path for the drivers to be installed. If I click on OK, it will automatically pick up the drivers file for the graphics. It is going to install the graphic driver. Now, since the graphic drivers are installed, I will cancel this. Most of the drivers are included within the Windows operating system itself. The display driver, the audio drivers, any specific driver which are updated by the manufacturer, you need to go and download from the manufacturer website, then install the specific driver. Apart from that, most of the drivers will be included within Microsoft Windows 11 operating system. In this topic of the Windows 11 course, we will see how to use or how to configure the PIN instead of the password. I'll be using the password to log into the Windows. We will configure the PIN. Instead of using the password, we will log into the Windows operating system using the PIN. I will enter the password. Once I have logged into the computer, I'll be able to configure or set up the PIN. From the next time, I'll not be using the password to log in. I'll simply use the PIN to log into the Windows. I can click on the Start menu. I'll click on the Settings. Once I have clicked on to the Settings, I have to come to this particular section, which is the Account section. Select the Account section, and if you are using an infrared camera, you can set up the face recognition for authentication, which is passwordless authentication. If your laptop supports the fingerprint reader, you can also set up the fingerprint reader for passwordless authentication. Since I don't have infrared camera or fingerprint, I can set up the PIN. If you have face recognition, you can set up using the face recognition over here. So this is for face recognition. And if you have a fingerprint supported on your laptop, you can set up the fingerprint scanner for passwordless authentication. Since I don't have infrared camera or fingerprint scanner, I will use the PIN. So I will enter the password, which is my current password. And now I should be able to set up the PIN. I will use the PIN. If you want to include letters and symbols, you can also do that. I will click on OK. This is because the PIN which I have used, it doesn't have any complexity because I simply used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need to enter the PIN, which is which has some complexity. So now it has accepted. If I sign out, from this time onwards, I'll simply use the PIN to log into the Windows. Now, so this is how you can set up the PIN to log in or sign into your Windows operating system. We have successfully logged into the Windows. So I'll not be using the PIN. I'll simply use the regular password. So I'll disable the PIN. I'll click on settings again. And I'll go to the accounts. I'll go to the sign in options. I will select the PIN and I will disable the PIN. I will remove this and I have to enter the password. This is to remove the PIN which we have set up. Now there is no pin which we have configured. I'll close this. If I sign out, from the next time, whenever I want to log into the Windows, I have to use the password. I will sign out of the Windows. Now I need to enter the password. So this is how you will be able to set the pin for your user account, or you can also remove the pin. If you don't require the pin, you can use the regular password in case you are very familiar with your user ID and the password. Continuing with the Windows 11 course, we will see more on Windows Update in this topic. It is always recommended that you keep your Windows 11 operating system up to date. It is not only for Windows 11 operating system, for that matter, you need to keep any operating system up to date. These updates will include security patches, service packs, device drivers, and also antivirus definition files. If you want to go to Windows Update, you need to click on Start, click on Settings. Once you click on the settings, there is an option to choose Windows Update. So this is the option where you choose Windows Update. Click on Windows Update and you will be able to see what are the updates being downloaded and what are the updates which has been installed. So these are the updates which are being currently downloaded. So some of the updates is being downloaded. So this is the update and this is one of the update which is being installed. Once the updates are ready for installation, you will be notified if you click on the start menu, if you right click on the start menu, and if you click on the shutdown or sign out option, you will get notified to install the updates and shutdown, or it will ask you to install the updates and restart your computer. So now we can see that some of the updates are being downloaded and some of the updates are getting installed. If I want to pause the update, if I want to disable the updates, let us say if I don't want to use the updates at all from the Microsoft servers, I can turn off the update. I don't want to do that. So I will enable the updates. I can even pause the updates for a certain week. Let us say if I want to pause the updates for 2 weeks, I can enable pause the updates for 2 weeks. And once it is paused, if you want to resume the updates, you have to click on the option resume update. So now it will connect to the Microsoft website and it will try to download the updates which are available from the Microsoft websites. If you click on update history, you will be able to see all the information about the updates which are being downloaded and the updates which has been installed. You can also see some of the updates which are related to drivers. Microsoft has built-in drivers for scanners, printers, and other peripherals. These are plug and play devices. Once you connect your device to the computer, Microsoft will automatically detect the device which you have connected either through the USB port or any other port. It will automatically detect and install the drivers for that specific device. So Microsoft operating system will include most of the device drivers for the devices. So in this particular case, we can see there is a driver which is already downloaded and it has been updated. Windows 11 operating system comes with a default antivirus software which is called as Defender. For the Defender, you can see there are definition files which are being downloaded. It is recommended to not only use Defender as the antivirus software, you have to use third-party antivirus software like McAfee or Trend or any other antivirus software to keep hackers or malwares and also virus away from your computer. If you click on other updates, you can see some of the updates related to malware. and this particular update is to remove the malware from your computer. If you want to uninstall any updates which are already installed, you can click on this section, uninstall update. You can see these are the updates which has been already installed. In case if your applications are not working, if you are finding any problem with the operating system because of the patches, service pack, what is being installed, you can always come here and uninstall the patches or service packs. So this section is to uninstall the updates which are already installed. So in summary, it is always recommended to keep your Windows 11 operating system up to date because it will contain these service packs, patches, and antivirus definition files. And sometimes if there is any critical threat, it also contains the malware removal tool also. In this topic of the Windows 11 course, we will see how to rename the computer. There are multiple ways how we will be able to access the computer name. If I want to see the computer name, I can just click on the start menu and I'll go to the settings. If I click on the settings, I need to select system. You'll be able to see we have the system name here. If you remember, we set up computer name during Windows 11 installation process. If the name is not good, you don't like the name of the computer what you have given, you can always rename the computer name. This is one way how you can rename the computer name, or you can simply right click on the start menu, go to the system option, and you can select this option to rename this PC. So this is under system, about, and you will be able to rename the PC. Using the command line, I can use the command line. If I open the CLI utility, if I enter the command host name, it will give me the name of the computer. Till it is loading. This is the user ID which we have used to log into the computer, and if I use the command host name, it will give the name of the computer. So this is the name which we have given to the computer. Now I want to give some meaningful name. So I will rename this PC and I will rename the PC as Tom Home Computer, or I will say laptop. I'll click on next. Once the name has been set, we need to restart the computer so that the name will take effect. I need to restart the computer. So I'll click on restart now. After restarting the computer, if I want to check the computer name, I'll go to the start, right click, and then select system. Whatever new name we have assigned, that should be visible here. So this is the new name what we have given. And if I go to the command prompt, if I use the CLI utility, I can enter host name. Now we are able to see the name what we have given to this computer. In this topic of the Windows 11 course, we will navigate through the desktop user interface. From Windows 95 to Windows 11, we have seen many changes to the user interface. Windows XP and Windows 7 add similar look and feel. Windows 8, Windows 10, and Windows 11 add similar user interface. We will see some of the important features which are used commonly in Windows 11 operating system. If I select the start menu over here, I can see the user account which I have used to log in. So this is the user account which I have used to log in, which is Tom Hanks. And if I click on the power button, if I select the power button and if I choose lock, in case if I am going away from the computer to take any printout, or if I want to have some coffee, I have to lock the computer. It is always recommended to lock your computer whenever you are away. And choosing the sleep option will keep all your open files as it is. It will use less power. Start from where you left. If you want to shut down, you can click on the shutdown options. It is going to shut down your computer, and restart is to restart your computer. If I click on the start menu again, and if I select all apps, it will show all the applications. It is going to show all the applications in alphabetical order, and also it is going to show the most recently used applications. If I click on the start menu again, I will see all the pinned applications. So these are the pinned applications, and these are the recently added applications. So Windows 11 will automatically recommend the recently added applications. This section is called as taskbar, and this is called as system tray. You can see date and time in the system tray, and there is a small icon for the notification, and this is for network control. I can control the volume, minimize or maximize the volume. There is the keyboard layout, and if I click on this arrow icon, I will see all the applications which are automatically getting started when the computer starts. And this is the start button, and these are the applications which are pinned to the taskbar, and this is the widget. The widget is basically, it will display all the latest news related information which is happening across the world. I can see all the applications which are getting started when the computer starts. So these are the applications which are automatically starting. And if I click on the network, I'll be able to control the volume control. If you are using the laptop, you will see there will be a charging icon, and you will be able to control the brightness of your computer as well. If I want to personalize the taskbar, I can click on the start menu, go to the settings, and I can select the personalization option. I can choose the taskbar. Here, I'll be able to control the look and feel of the taskbar. If I don't want to see the search, I can simply hide the search. If I don't want to see the task view, I can hide or disable the task view. I can even disable the widget. I don't want to see the widget, so I will turn off the widget. Now I don't see the widget anymore. I will turn off the chat. So these are the applications which are pinned now. And if I click on taskbar behavior, I can align the start menu and the pinned application either center or left. If I select the left, all the icons, all the pinned applications will be aligned to the left. If I choose center, it will be aligned to the center. If I want to automatically hide the taskbar, I can select the automatically hide taskbar. I will disable this. So this is how you will be able to control most of the taskbar behavior. And you can also control the start menu behavior. The look and feel of the start menu can be controlled. So this is the section you can control using personalization. And if you select the start, under personalization start, you can See how the start menu will look whenever you choose a particular layout. If I don't want to see any recently added applications, so these are the recently added applications. So these are the recently added application. If I don't want to see, I can disable this. I don't see any of the applications which are recently added. And if I disable most used application, I don't see most used application under the applications. If I turn on, then I should be able to see under all apps, I will see the most used application. So these are the most used application if I turn on this. And you can actually disable the recently opened items. I will keep it disabled, and also I will keep this disabled. So this is how you will be able to control the taskbar as well as the start menu option. In this section of the Windows 11 course, we will see more on notification. This is the system tray. Under the system tray, there is a small bell icon. If I click on the bell icon, if I select the bell icon, I will see the notification panel. Inside the notification panel, I already have a notification for the Windows update. It is asking me to reboot to install the latest updates. I can clear all, saying that I don't want to have the notification listed inside the notification panel. I can even click on this icon to enable or disable the notification. If I click on this icon, I will see notification settings, where if I click on notification settings, it will take me to the notification settings panel. So this is the notification settings panel where I can enable or disable the notification. I can even enable or disable do not disturb, and there are other options for the notification. If I click on the start menu and if I select the power button here, you will be able to see there are options which are related to the updates. So any critical updates which are being installed or which are yet to be installed, it will be displayed under the power button. So these are the critical notification which will anyway displayed under the power button. So turning on or off the notification, I don't see any notification, only the critical notification will be displayed. So I will enable this notification. I can even schedule the do not disturb so that I will only get to see the notification only during certain time. I can enable this notification for do not disturb, and if I select during these times, I can select this is my working time, let us say 10 a.m. and till 7 p.m. Till 7 p.m. I don't want to be disturbed. I'll select OK, and this is for the daily. For this time, there will not be any notification because we have set for do not disturb during this schedule. And there are also some of the options for notification. You can choose to enable or disable these options. If I want only the priority based notification to be sent, I can enable the priority notification. I can even select the apps. So by default, I will receive notification from these applications. If I want to receive notification from different applications, I can choose the application from where I want to receive the notification. If I click on the settings has been added. From now on, I will get the notification for settings as well. If I don't want the notification to be sent, I can remove from these applications. I can remove the clock. I can even remove any of the applications from where I don't want to receive. Since we have turned on the do not disturb at a particular schedule, I can go to the notification again. Now we'll be able to see only the priority based notification which are sent to the notification panel. Apart from that, no other notification will be sent. And also if I want to clear all the notification, I can click on clear all to clear all the notifications. Also, there is an option under notification. We can see there is an option for focus. If you are reading or doing some work with full concentration and don't want to get disturbed, we can choose the focus. Many students use Pomodoro technique of 30 minutes or 25 minutes, and they will have 5 minutes break at a particular interval after every 30 minutes or 25 minutes. So it will be very useful for them. So what we will do is we will start the focus, then whatever we are doing, whatever activity we are doing. So there is an update which is going on for the clock. I will wait for some time and I will continue later. After installing the Windows update, you can see the look and feel of the Windows desktop has completely changed. It took almost 40 to 45 minutes to installing the update. It seems like it was a major update. If I click on the start button and click on the power button here, I don't see any more notification for the Windows update. Also, I don't see any more notification under the notification panel for the Windows update. So coming back to the focus, if I click on the notification, I'll go to the notification section. I'll go to the notification panel. Under the notification panel, we have the focus. So many of the students nowadays, what they do is they want to concentrate on what they are doing. If they want to concentrate, they use some technique called as Pomodoro technique, wherein they have 25 minutes of reading or 30 minutes of reading and they will take 5 minutes of break at each interval. So they use this kind of technique, focus. So focus is one particular application or one particular tool which we can use to start a focus session to concentrate on what we are doing. Just click on the focus and it will start the clock. You can actually increase or decrease the timers, and we can pause the clock, we can start the clock, and we can actually show how much time it is remaining. So this way we will be able to use the focus. This is one important section under the notification. I can end the session. If I go back to the notification settings, I can end the pause or end or pause or stop the focus session. I'll click on focus, and there are some settings for the focus which we can enable or disable, and we have an option to increase or decrease the time for the focus. In this section of the Windows 11 course, we will discuss about quick setting panel. Under the system tray, we have the quick setting panel. For quickly adjust setting for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, volume, brightness, we can do all these changes in the quick setting panel. All I need to do is I need to click on the Wi-Fi or volume control or the battery charger. I'll get this quick setting panel. So this is the quick setting panel using which I'll be able to modify the settings for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth and other options. All I need to do is I have to click on this Wi-Fi or volume control, and I'll be able to modify the settings for any of these options. To change the order of these options, I have to right click and I can edit quick settings. I need to drag to change the order of the options, and if I want to change the order of the options for Bluetooth, I need to bring it down the Bluetooth. So I'll change, and if I want the airplane mode to be down, I'll bring it down. I can even add or remove these options. If I don't want any of the options, then I can simply click on unpin. It will be removed from the quick settings panel. I don't want nightlight, so I don't want any of these settings. I want just simply the airplane mode and the Wi-Fi, and I will click on done. So now if I click on the quick setting panel, I will see only these options. If I want to add the options again, the options which we have removed, I have to simply right click, edit quick settings, and I can add whatever I have removed. I will add VPN, I will add accessibility, I will add Bluetooth, and nightlight, and I will also add battery saver, and I will change the order of the options. So this way you will be able to modify the quick settings panel, and also you can change the order of these options under quick setting panel. I'll simply click on done. In this section of the Windows 11 course, we will discuss about task view. In my previous topic, I have disabled the task view. Now I will go and enable the task view. To enable the task view, I need to go to personalization, and under taskbar, there is an option for the task view. So I will enable this option, task view. If I place the mouse cursor on the task view, I can see there is a preview of desktop 1, and I can even create new desktop. If I click on plus, I'll be able to create new desktop. And if I place the mouse cursor again, we can see there are two desktop which has been created. So desktop 1 is the default desktop, and desktop 2 is the one which we created now. If I want to delete the desktop, I will cancel this. I'll simply close this. The desktop will be deleted. So now I have only one desktop, which is the default desktop. In task view, we can have multiple desktop. In each of the desktop, we have different applications running. Let us say in one of the desktop, we wanted to have all our regular applications running. Let us say I am using word processing or Excel or any other applications which I am regularly using. I wanted to keep it in desktop 1, and in another desktop, if I wanted to listen to the music or if I want to browse internet, I can use another desktop. For that, what I will do is I will open some of the applications. I will open the file explorer. I will open the edge, and I will also open this settings, and I will open this recycle bin. So this is just to make sure we are moving some of the application to different desktop. If I place the mouse cursor again, there is no desktop now. I will click on this task view. Now I can see the applications which I have opened. If I want to move some of the applications to different desktop, I have to simply right click, and I have to say move to new desktop. If I click on move to new desktop, a new desktop will be created, and the Edge browser will be moved to new desktop. Now, if I open this desktop 2, this is the Edge browser which has been moved to new desktop, which is desktop 2. Under desktop 1, I don't see this Edge browser. I don't see this Edge browser which was opened. And now, if I want to move this recycle bin application to desktop 2, I can move to desktop 2 like this, or I can simply drag and drop to the desktop 2 like this. Now, all our applications which I was using in desktop 1, it is there in desktop 2. If I double click on desktop 1, I don't see any more applications which are running on the desktop 1. If I click on task view, if I open desktop 2, now all my applications are here inside the desktop 2. Now you can see whatever applications I was running under desktop 1, everything is there in this desktop 2. And if I want to cancel, if I want to move everything back to desktop 1, I can simply drag everything to like this. And now if I click on desktop 1, I can see all the applications which I was using earlier. It has moved to desktop 1. So now I want to delete desktop 2. I can simply delete this. I can close this, and the desktop 2 has been deleted. So you might be wondering, if I have moved all the applications under new desktop, and what will happen If I delete the desktop, everything will move back to the desktop one automatically. Now I can see all the windows which I have opened inside the desktop one. In this topic of the Windows 11 course, we will discuss about widget. In my previous video, I have disabled the widget. I will quickly go to the taskbar setting. Under the taskbar setting, there is an option, personalization taskbar. If I go to the section widget, I'll be able to enable or disable the widget. I will simply enable this widget. Now I can see the widget. If I disable the widget, I don't see the widget. I will enable the widget. So widget is the place where you get information about news, stocks, weather, location, and many more information. If I click on the widget, you can see there are multiple widgets. For each of the widget, you can select this three dotted area and you will be able to customize. You can unpin the widget, and for some of the widget, you will be able to hide. Not each of the widget has the same customization option. If you see, this particular widget has a different customization or settings option, and if you click on this widget, it has a different customization option. And if you go to the settings of the widget panel itself, you will be able to add any other widget if you wanted to have. Like if I wanted to have sports widget, timer widget, I can select pin, and I will go to, again, I will go to tips. I will pin the widget. From here also I will be able to do the same action. I will click on this add button and I will go to weather, or I will go to the watch list. I will pin this, and if you want to unpin, you can simply click on this three dotted section and you can unpin the widget like this. And I have not signed into the Microsoft account. If you have signed into the Microsoft account, you will see the most preferred widget. So this is the sign in section. If you have signed in, you will be able to see for your profile, for your user ID, the most preferred widgets will be available under the widget section. In this section of the Windows 11 course, we will see how to install the applications. I have downloaded and kept some of the installer in the download folder. I'll be installing WinZip, Acrobat Reader, and the Visual Studio Code. Once you have downloaded, all these installer files will be under download. If you click on the download, if you go to the folder, then you'll be able to see all these executable files will be downloaded under the download folder. If you maximize, this is the folder where you will be able to see all your files which are getting downloaded. By default, all the files whatever you are downloading from the internet, everything will be downloaded under this folder. Now I will install the WinZip application. For installation, I need to just double click on this. I will double click on the application. I will simply click on S, and I'll see what is the next prompt for the installation. I'll click on next, agree the license. So basically, installing the applications in Windows is very straightforward. It will be next, next, and the installation will complete. If at all there is any specific folder location you wanted to choose, then you can customize where exactly the installation files has to be copied. Now I will copy all the files to the default program location. Once the installation is complete, we will be able to see where exactly this particular installation file has been copied. By default, all your installation files will be under C drive and it will be under programs. Now The WinZip installation file has copied all its file under the WinZip folder. So once the installation is complete for the WinZip, we will be able to execute the application WinZip. We can either compress or decompress any of the files using WinZip, which is very easy to do any kind of attachment through the mails. I can see the WinZip has been installed successfully and still it is getting installed, and we can see some of the files it has already copied to the desktop. The installation has been completed. I will click on finish. Now this is the executable file for the WinZip. If I want to do any kind of zip or unzip, I can actually double click on the WinZip application. I will close this. I will compress or decompress the files. I will double click to execute the application. So we have the application. This is the trial version. One more thing you need to be very careful whenever you are installing the application is there are certain applications which includes malware and viruses. It is always recommended. It is always recommended to use antivirus software. Either it can be McAfee or Trend. You need to have the antivirus software with the proper update for the antivirus software so that it will scan any of the executable files which you have downloaded. It will scan all the files which you have downloaded from the internet, and it will warn you or it will block the installation. So it is always recommended to have antivirus software, and you need to update your antivirus software. I will close this because I'll click on no. I'll close this. And if I go to the download folder again, if I want to install Acrobat Reader, I have to execute the file. This is the installer file. Once you execute the installer file, it will try to download the files from the internet. It will take some time to install the Acrobat Reader. I'll pause this video. Once the download is finished, I will continue with the session. I can see the download is complete. I will finish the installation and you should be able to access the Acrobat Reader. Now the Acrobat Reader is available. I'll be able to open any PDF files using this Acrobat Reader. To open the PDF file, I will set this Acrobat Reader as the default application. I will click on set as default. So all my PDF files will be opened with Acrobat Reader. We have seen how to install WinZip and Adobe Acrobat Reader. We will also see how to install the Visual Studio Code. This will be useful for the students who are learning the coding. They can use this IDE application which is called Visual Studio Code with multiple extensions which are available for Visual Studio Code. I will double click this installer file. I will accept the agreement, click on next. So this was the customization I was talking about. Some of the installer file will give you customization option so that you can choose a particular folder. I will select a folder. I will put all the Visual Studio files under VS Code directory. I will click on next. A directory will be created. So this will be under the VS Code. A new directory will be created under C VS Code. I will click on next. I will click on next. I will keep everything as default and I will install. There will be a folder which will be created under C VS Code. If I open the File Explorer, then if I go to the My Computer C drive, you can see there is a folder which is created VS Code. All the files for the Visual Studio Code will be copied here. So this is how we'll be able to customize the application installation, and also we can choose the specific folder for each application. By default, all your programs will be installed under program files. So the installation is complete. I can launch the Visual Studio Code. And this is the Visual Studio Code user interface. You can actually add extensions for whichever language, Python, Java, or any other language which you are developing. So we have seen how to install WinZip, Acrobat Reader, and Visual Studio Code. In this section of the Windows 11 course, we will see how to create or how to add a new user account. I have been using Tom Hanks as the user account. So this is the user ID which I have been using to log into this computer. If I click on the power button and if I click on lock, I have locked the computer and I need to enter the password. So I'll enter the password to unlock the computer. So now I have to create a user ID for my colleague or my family members. So basically, whenever you create a user account for your friends or for your family members, what will happen is the files and folders, whatever you have created, everything will be stored under a particular profile. This is the user account using which Tom Hanks was logging in. And for Tom Hanks user account, this is the profile, this is the folder which has been created. All his files and folders, it will be under this particular user profile. When you create a user account for your family members or for your friends, those people will not be able to access your personal files and folders. You are not going to give your user ID and your password to access the computer. So basically, you are going to create a new user account with new password for them to access your PC, so that they will not able to see your personal files and folders. And there is a gotcha here. If they have the administrator right, then they will be able to access your personal files and folders. You need to ensure that you are not going to give administrator right for any of your family members or for your friends. I'll simply create the user account. I'll go to the start, then click on settings, then click on account. So it is start, settings, and then go to the account. Under account, I need to select other users. I will add account. It is asking you to enter email ID or phone number. Email ID is basically the Microsoft email ID, which is Outlook ID. I don't have Outlook ID, so I have to select I don't have the person's sign in information. I'll click on here. Basically, I'm creating a local account. It doesn't have Microsoft account, so I am creating a local account. And in this section also, I have to select add a user without Microsoft account. Now I will enter the username. So username is John, and I will enter the password for John. And so we need to give some security questions answer. What is the first pet name? I'll say some name for this puppy. And what is the secret name? City, I'll say Delhi. And security question third, What is the first name of your oldest cousin? I'll say Chris. I'll create a name. I'll create a user account for John. And so this is the local account which we have created for John. Now I will log off Tom Hanks, sign out, and I have to select the user profile John here. I will select John and I will enter the password for John. Now John is able to log into your computer, but he will not be able to access your personal files and folders. This is for John specific user account. This is the profile what it is being created for John. So this will be the profile which will be created specific for John. John will not be able to see your personal files and folders under Tom Hanks user account. I'll select the privacy setting. I'll turn off all the settings and I'll click on next and I will accept. So now the John profile has been created. I'll open the file explorer and I'll go to the C drive. I'll open C drive. There should be a folder created for John, and we can see there is a folder which has been created for John, and this is the profile for John. John can access only his profile. If he tries to access Tom Hanks' profile, he will not be able to access. You don't have the permission to access this folder, and click continue to permanently get access to this folder. To access the files and folders of Tom Hanks, John need to enter the Tom Hanks password. Since John doesn't have the password for the Tom Hanks, he will not be able to access. Only the administrator can access all the files and folders. Now John has to simply say no and he had to go out of the Tom Hanks folder. In this topic of the Windows 11 course, we will see what is the difference between Windows 11 Home Edition and Windows 11 Professional Edition. We will compare the two operating system editions. I will compare Windows 11 Home and Windows 11 Professional. I will open this link from Microsoft. We will see what is the difference between Windows 11 Home and Professional. I will select this. We can see the feature of both Windows 11 Home Edition and Windows 11 Professional Edition. The feature include device encryption, find my device, firewall and network protection, internet protection, parental controls and protection, secure boot, Windows allow for authentication, and Windows security. So these are common for both Windows 11 Home Edition and also for Windows 11 Professional Edition. There are some of the features which are available only with Windows 11 Professional. Windows 11 Home is good for single user or for home user who work on productivity tools, browsing, using application for coding. Basically, you can use Windows 11 Home for everything. You can use it for writing code. You can use for working on Excel, Word, PowerPoint, listening to the music, watching movies, browsing the internet. You can do everything on Windows 11 Home. There are some of the features which are only available with Windows 11 Professional. Features like BitLocker, that is for encryption, remote desktop control, which is used to connect to another computer, Hyper-V, this is to virtualize your operating system. We can create multiple virtual machines on the same operating system using Hyper-V. And there is a feature which is called as Active Directory feature. We can connect our computer to the corporate network or we can join the computer to the Active Directory. There is also a feature called as Group Policy, which is also available with Windows 11 Professional. And if I want to create users and groups, I'll be able to create only in Windows 11 Professional. Apart from that, there are many other features which are available with Windows 11 Professional. So Windows 11 Home, it is good for single user or maybe 2 or 3 users. If you want more features, then you have to shift for Windows 11 Professional. So that was about comparison between Windows 11 Home and Windows 11 Professional. I'll see you in the next topic. In this topic of the Windows 11 course, we will see how to activate Windows 11 operating system. I have downloaded and installed the Windows 11 operating system without activating the operating system. To activate the Windows 11 operating system, I need to have the product key. If I have a product key, then I have to click on Start, go to the settings. Only if you activate the Windows 11 operating system with a valid product key, you will be able to personalize your computer. Like if I choose the personalize option and if I click on background, I will not be able to change the background settings because it is asking me to activate. Once I have activated, I'll be able to personalize the background. I'll be able to change the themes. I'll be able to change the background images. To activate, I'll go to the system, or in the same personalization option, I can activate. So I'll show you different options how we can go to the activation page. There is a button here. There is an option here to select the activation, and if you select the activation, you can change the product key. If you have a valid product key, you can change your product key from this option. I will enter the product key and I'll select next. Since I have used the Windows 11 Professional product key, it will do a seamless transition from Windows 11 Home to Windows 11 Professional. All I need to do is I have to click the Start button. It will transition from Windows 11 Home to Windows 11 Professional 64-bit edition without any data loss. And there will be a restart once the upgrade is completed from Windows 11 Home to Windows 11 Professional. You need to have a valid key. You will be able to transition from Windows 11 Home to Windows 11 Professional. You will see most of the features which are not included with Windows 11 Home. It will be included with Windows 11 Professional. I will click on Start, and it is going to take some time to convert from Windows 11 Home to Windows 11 Professional. The upgrade is in progress. It has completed 10%. I will pause the video here. I will come back. I can see the upgrade progress is at 88%. It's almost in the final stage of the upgrade. I can see the upgrade has restarted the operating system. After the reboot, Windows operating system is installing some of the features. It is almost complete. It is now at 100%. After adding the features, operating system is rebooting again. This is the second reboot. I can see the upgrade is completed from Windows 11 Home to Windows 11 Professional. This is the first time I am logging into the Tom's user account. I will enter the password. I will sign in with the Tom's user account and see what has changed with the Windows 11 Professional. I have logged in with the Tom's user account. I can see the desktop icons remain same as it is without any issues, and all the applications whatever we have installed, it remains intact without any change. If I go to the file explorer, I wanted to see all the files which we have downloaded. It is there and it should be there. Yeah, we can see all the files are still available, and it is confirmed that even if we upgrade from Windows 11 Home to Windows 11 Professional, there will be no impact to our files and folders, whatever we have stored. And if I want to check if the Windows 11 Home has been upgraded to Windows 11 Professional, I'll click on Start, then go to the System. There is an option here in About. I'll select this option, About. We can see Windows 11 Home has been upgraded to Windows 11 Professional, and we have the Windows 11 Professional successfully upgraded. Now, if I go to personalization, if I want to change the background image, if I select the background, I should be able to change the background image now. I'll select the picture. Now we are able to select the background image for our desktop. So in this topic, we have seen how to activate Windows 11 operating system, and also we have seen how to upgrade Windows 11 Home to Windows 11 Professional with a valid professional activation key. I'll see you in the next topic. In the next topic, we will see how to set the background images and how to download and install the themes for our Windows desktop. In this section of the Windows 11 course, we will see how to change the desktop background image. This desktop background image, whatever we are seeing, this is the default image which comes along with the Windows 11 operating system. Whenever we install the Windows 11 operating system, there are some of the pictures, some of the images which are included as part of the operating system itself, which we will be able to use and set those images as the background images. If I want more images, if I don't like the images which comes along with the Windows 11, then I'll be able to search for the images from Google. I'll use Google and search for the desktop background image. And there are some of the sites like unsplash.com and pixels.com where I'll be able to download these images. Some of the images are free and some of the images are paid images. So this image I'll be able to download for free and I'll be able to use it as the desktop background image. I have downloaded some of the images from unsplash.com and pixels.com. So these are the two sites which I have used to download, and all my downloads are available under download folder. So this is the default profile for my this is the default folder for my profile where all these downloads are stored. I will cut these files and I will move all those files into pictures. So this picture, I'll move everything to saved pictures. I'll paste it, and if I want to set any of these images as the background image, there is an existing background image. If I want to set any of these image as the background image, I need to just right click and I will set as the desktop background. Once I have changed the desktop background image, you'll be able to see the image has been changed. The background of my desktop has been changed. So this is one method to change the desktop background. If I go to the start, if I click on settings, or if I right click on the desktop itself, if I go to personalize, if I select the personalize, there is an option background. Here, if I select the background, then under picture, if I have more pictures, I'll be able to select the pictures. I have to select pictures and browse photos. I can browse for any photo which I have downloaded. I'll choose this, and you can see now this image has been set as background. Similarly, if I want to change to any other image, I can click on this image and I should be able to change it. I will select this and the image has been changed. So there are, apart from picture, there are other options as well. If I select solid color, then whatever color you want to choose, this is solid color. If I select any of the color, the desktop background images changes as per the color what we choose. And similarly, any of the color I can choose. If I want to choose the custom color, I can view the color. I can choose the custom color. I have to go to view color, then I have to go to view color, then I need to select the option. And if I select any of the color like this, so this will be the new color. The old color is this color, which is already set, and this is the new color which will be changing. So if I choose this color, the background image will be changed. If I want to change to another color, I can simply select the color which I wanted to change like this. To customize the color for the solid color, then the images will be changed. So this will be the solid color. And if I select the slideshow, I have stored all my photos in the pictures folder. I can browse to the folder where I have saved all the downloaded files. So this is the folder where I have saved all my downloaded pictures. I will choose the folder, and there is an option change picture. So we have these many pictures. We can change the picture for every 30 minutes. We can even shuffle the picture and how the picture has to be displayed. Either we have to fill, fit, stretch, tile, center, or span. We can customize how the picture has to be set in the background. I will choose the default fill, and every 30 minutes the images will be changed. Now there is also another option, Windows Spotlight. So if I choose the option as Spotlight, Windows operating system will pick up these images from the internet and it will be set as the background for my desktop. What I will do is I will set as picture and I will select the picture which I want. I will go back to the folder, then I will select the picture. I will choose this picture as my desktop background. There is an option here, contrast. If I select the contrast, I'll be able to select from different themes. So basically it will change the text and it will also change the color of my desktop. There are aquatic, desert, dusk, night sky. I'll be able to choose from one of the contrast themes. So this is the aquatic theme. If I apply, you'll be able to see the desktop will automatically change to high contrast. If I select to desert and apply, so this is for the desert, and for dusk, you can see the text color, the borders, and the text font, everything has changed. And even the desktop background also has changed. If I select night sky and apply, so this is another contrast theme. We will be able to see the color change and the border of this panel has changed to a different color. And now I'll be able to see all my desktop icons very clearly. So you can use this option to change the contrast themes. So to change the contrast, we need to go to personalization, then background, then contrast. I'll be able to select from any one of the contrast themes here. So this was about changing the desktop background. I'll see you in the next topic. In this topic of the Windows 11 course, we will see how to manage the themes. I have to go to Start, click on Settings, then under Personalization, we have an option for themes. So the personalization, under Personalization, we have the option for themes here. So whenever we change the themes, basically we are changing the desktop background image, the color, and the sound effect also. If I want to browse for themes, it will take me to the Microsoft Store where I'll be able to search for themes for Windows 11, and there are some of the themes which are available for free, and there are some of the themes which are available for premium. I need to pay for the themes, and you can browse for the themes which you want. You will be able to download those themes. Once the themes are downloaded, you should be able to apply those themes for your Windows 11 operating system. So now if I click on this particular theme, then I need to click on Get if I want to install this theme for my Windows 11 operating system. Also, if I go to Google, then if I search for Windows 11 theme, and if I open this first link, then there are some of the categories. Under each category, we have the themes available. If I select the animals, then I can see list of themes for animals. And if I want to have the themes for the movies, then I'll be able to select from here. And if I open this, let me see. And if I open for this theme, and I will also open for this theme, and for plants. So we have some of the themes which are readily available under each of the category. You can choose whichever themes you want, and I'll download this. So all these themes which I have downloaded, it's all there in the download folder. If I double click any of the theme, then this theme should be applied to my desktop. I'll see if the theme has been applied. Yes, it is already applied. We can see it has changed. So now this is the theme which we have downloaded and installed this theme. If I want to set to a different theme, I can even go to the Microsoft Store. This theme, it is being still downloaded. And if I want to apply some other themes, then I will apply this Ducati theme. You can see the theme has been applied. So whenever you apply the theme, you will be able to see the taskbar and the icon, the color of the icon, the desktop icon, and it might also have changes to your sound effects. So this way you will be able to modify the themes, and these are the themes which are available within the Windows operating system. And some of the themes, these are the one which we have downloaded. The other themes, the rest of the themes are available within Microsoft Windows. If I click on this theme will be applied, and this is the theme which is already available with Windows. If you like this theme, you will be able to select this theme. And whenever you download the themes from the internet, you need to be very careful because most of the downloaded files contains virus. You need to scan for those files which you have downloaded from the internet and use the themes. There is a default folder where all these themes will be stored. You can right click on the start, click on run, and the default folder where all the themes will be stored is this location. This is the Windows directory and the resources and the themes. Either you can use the file explorer to your PC, then C drive, then your Windows directory, and there is a folder which is called as resources. So we need to search for resources. Under resources, there is a folder called themes. So we have all the themes which are available within Microsoft Windows. So these are the default themes which are available, and the downloaded files what we have downloaded, that also I will copy and paste it here. So all these files which we have copied, I will copy this and place into this default folder. I will give the permission. For any copying, we need to provide the permission as administrator. And once the files are copied, and if I wanted to change the theme, I will go to the themes and I will set it to the theme which we have downloaded, which is cloud theme. So once the theme is set, the desktop background image has changed and the taskbar color has changed, and we will be able to see the icons clearly. So this way we will be able to manage the themes within Windows 11 operating system. In this topic of the Windows 11 course, we will see how to add the desktop icons. I can see there are some of the icons related to applications, and I don't see some of the icons like my computer, network places, and other icons. If I want to add those icons onto my desktop, I have to click on Start, go to the settings. First thing is, I don't like this Start menu in the center. So what I will do is, I'll go to the personalization, I'll go to taskbar settings, then I will click on the taskbar behavior. I'll choose the Start menu on my left. So this is my favorite area of Start menu. And if I want to select the icons for the desktop, I'll click on settings, then go to personalization. Here under themes, we can see there is an option for desktop icon settings. So this is under personalization and themes, and there is an option for desktop icon settings. I can click on this desktop icon settings. Whatever icons I am not able to see on the desktop, I can place all the icons on my desktop. I'll click on all the icons which I require and I'll select apply. And there is an option allow themes to change the desktop icons. If I am installing any specific themes which are going to change the desktop icon, I am enabling the themes to manage the desktop icons, or I can even disable this. I'll click on OK. I will click on apply and click on OK. Now the favorite icons for my Windows operating system, it is all listed here. It is all available on top of the desktop. I will double click on network places so that I can view the network. And if I open my computer, so this is my computer icon, I can quickly access the drives of my computer, and so all these icons are visible on top of the desktop. If I want to auto arrange the icons, I can automatically arrange the icons. I can enable or disable the automatically arrange icon, view automatically arrange. Now I should be able to place these icons anywhere on the desktop. If I select view and auto arrange icon, then I'll not be able to place any of the icon. I'll not be able to place the icons on the desktop. So it will automatically arrange. And if I go to view, If I want to arrange the icons large, then the icon size of the icon will change to large. If I want to make the icon small, then this is the small icon. And also I can sort the icon by name and by size and also by type. Now I want to customize the icon, so I'll disable the auto arrange. I can move this icon wherever I want. So I wanted to place this recycle bin on top and recycle bin on top, then my PC, then network places. So like this I wanted to place. Now if I select automatically arrange. Also I have an icon for control panel. If I want to quickly change the settings, I have the icon over here for control panel, and I can uninstall or install the programs and check the system security. I can change the user settings. Because we have activated for Windows 11 Professional, I'll be able to manage the users and account better than Windows 11 Home. So I have more options compared to the Windows 11 Home for user accounts. And I can even select to not to show the icons on my desktop. Now the entire desktop is clear without any icons. If I right click and if I right click on the desktop and if I want to view all the icons, I will click on show desktop icon. Now all the icons will come back. Again, if I don't want some of the icons to be shown on top of the desktop, I'll go to the personalize. Then I'll go to personalize here, go to the themes and select the desktop icons. So whichever icon I don't want this user profile, I don't want the control panel. For me, only my computer, recycle bin and network is enough. So rest of the icons I don't require. And also if I want to change the look of the icon, I can change the icon. For this PC, I can select the look of the icon. I can select from any of these images. So let me change the my computer icon to, I'll change it to this. Okay, and I will apply. Now you can see this PC icon has changed. Similarly, you can change it for network also. If you want to change for network places, you can select related icon and you'll be able to change the icon. And if you want to reset, you can reset to default so that whatever changes you have made to the icons, everything will be reset. So I'll keep the original settings as it is. I will reset to default. So now I'll click on OK. Now all the icon has been changed to its original look and feel. In Windows 11, there is also another setting under personalization. If I go to the colors, so under personalization, if I choose the colors, I'll be able to set the mode to light or dark. If I select the dark mode, the panel, the Windows panel, the taskbar, we'll be able to see everything has changed to dark mode. If I change to light mode again, now the panel of the Windows and the taskbar panel, everything will change to light mode. I can even customize this. I can only set light mode for Windows and dark mode for app. So if I select light mode for window and dark mode for application, I'll select dark mode. You can see this application, which is the settings application, it has turned to the black. And If I select light for the application and dark for window, only for the windows it will change to dark mode. Like the taskbar panel, it will change to the black. And also there is an option for transparency effect. I can enable or disable. And if I want to select the accent color, so accent color is basically the color what you see under these icons, the settings underneath. We can see a color here, so we can change those colors. If I change it to manual, then if I change to some other color, the color whatever I have chosen, those color will be displayed here under the icons. So this way we'll be able to manage the modes. Either we can set it to dark mode or light mode. I'll make it as light mode, which is the default mode. Now we are into the light mode. Similarly, how we have set the background images for our desktop, we can also set for the lock screen as well. To set the background images for the lock screen, I need to go to Start Personalization, and there is an option for lock screen here. We need to select the lock screen, choose the lock screen, and now when your computer is locked, what image you have to see. You can select the images, or you can select the images from your folder by selecting the browse pictures. I will select one of the image. Whenever I lock the PC, I need to see this particular image. And this image will be shown when I lock the PC. If I lock it, then I will lock. So I see this image, whatever I have set. I will log in again. Even I can select the spotlight. I can select slideshow. I can select spotlight. Spotlight is basically it will pick up the images from the internet, and slideshow I need to browse for the files. So all the files, all the images, all the pictures will be shown as a slideshow. I will select this folder for the slideshow to happen. Whenever I lock the computer, then these images, whichever which are there in this folder, it will be shown as a slideshow. If I go to this folder location, and if I go to the download, if I go to the pictures, and these are the images which will be shown as a slideshow. And also there are some more options which you can select. So whenever you lock your computer, if you want to see some tips and tricks, if you want to see some weather information, you can enable or disable. So there is an option to choose weather and more information. It is going to display the weather information according to your region what you have selected. If I don't want to show any information when I lock my computer, I can set it to none because of privacy. I don't want to show any information, so I'll set it to none. And so there is also another option which you can enable or disable. If the image doesn't fit the screen, then the image will not be displayed when you lock your computer. So according to your requirement, you can either select any of these options from the lock screen section. In this topic of the Windows 11 course, we will see how to delete all these wallpapers which we have downloaded and used. By default, the desktop wallpapers will be available within the Windows operating system. In case if we have downloaded some of the wallpapers from the internet and we have used as the background, those wallpapers can be deleted. If I right click and select personalize, I'll be taken to this option which is personalize, and if I click on the background, I'll be able to see the images, the photos which we have downloaded from the internet. There are some of the images which are available within the Windows 11 operating system. If I want to delete all the images which we have downloaded and used as the background, then I should be able to delete this. If I want to set any other image as the background, then I'll go to the browse photos, and if I want to choose any other image, then I'll be able to I'll select this image and I will use this as the background. It is going to list only the 5 images which is recently used. So these are the images which we have recently used, and the current one, this is the one which we are using. Now we have to delete all the images which we have downloaded from the internet. For that, I'll go to the folder where I have saved the wallpapers. I'll select all these wallpapers and right click and simply delete. I'll click on delete. Everything will be deleted. Now, if I go to the personalization, if I select the background, you will not be able to see any of the images what we have downloaded and used. The image, whatever we are seeing as the background, this image is already deleted because it is there in the memory. Only after reboot, the new image will be displayed. Now what I will do is, I will select the default image which comes along with the Windows 11 operating system. I will use this image as my default desktop background. Now the background image has been set and we have successfully deleted all the images what we have downloaded. The deleted image are still in the recycle bin. I'll be able to restore all these images, and if I restore these images, it will be available again, and I should be able to use. If I go to browse photos, now the images are back. I'll be able to choose any one of the image, then I should be able to use those image. Now the background image has been changed. Now let us see how to delete the themes. If I go to personalization, under themes, I would have downloaded some of the themes, like I would have downloaded Age of Empire and some other themes from the Microsoft Store. If I want to delete any of the themes, along with the theme, there will be a default application which gets installed. For example, this is the theme which I have downloaded from the Microsoft Store. This theme is called Beautiful Norway. Once you have applied this theme, we can see the theme. It has 18 images for the background, and it is going to control the sound, which is Windows default sound, and the color, and also it is going to control the mouse cursor. If I don't want the theme which I have downloaded from the internet or Microsoft Store, I can delete the theme. So this particular theme is called as Beautiful Norway theme. Since I have set this theme, I'll not be able to delete this theme. Any other theme which I wanted to delete, I can simply right click and delete because this is not active currently. I'll right click this and delete. The theme which is active, I'll not be able to delete. I'll right click and delete this theme as well, and I'll also delete this, and I'll leave only the Windows default theme. If I want to delete the theme which I have downloaded, this is the Microsoft theme. This is the theme which I have downloaded from the Microsoft Store, and this theme is called as Beautiful Norway. If I select the start menu, search for Beautiful Norway, we can see there is an application which gets installed. For the theme to work, I can simply right click and uninstall. If I uninstall, so this particular application gets uninstalled and we don't see the theme anymore. I can set a different theme now. Let us see if the theme is still available. The theme name is Beautiful Norway. The theme is not available, and There are also other themes which I have downloaded and installed, like Lively Wallpaper Metro and Xlive Wallpaper. For every theme, there will be an application which gets installed. You'll be able to simply right click on those theme like this and you can uninstall. If you don't require these themes, you can uninstall all those themes which you want to uninstall. And if I want to install any other themes, I can go back. Then if I want to select the themes, I'll be able to download from the Microsoft Store. So I'll select this, and if I click on Get, I'll be installing this theme. Once you install the theme, you'll be able to apply those theme for your desktop background. So now we have successfully installed the beautiful sunset theme. If I go to the start menu, then if I search for beautiful sunset, there is a theme, and if I open the theme, you can see it is already installed. If I go to personalization, if I come back to the themes again, and we can see there is a beautiful sunset theme which is already installed. Now I'll be able to apply this particular theme. And again, if I don't want this theme, I can go back to the start menu and I can search for the theme name beautiful sunset, right click and uninstall. This will uninstall the theme. So in this topic, we have seen how to delete the downloaded background images and also how to uninstall the themes which we have downloaded from Microsoft Store. In this section of the Windows 11 course, we will see how to manage and control the display settings. For display to properly work, we need to check the video adapter. We have seen how to install the device driver in our previous video. It will be very common to see either the device driver for the video will be Intel based or AMD Radeon based. If you have installed dedicated NVIDIA graphics, then it will be NVIDIA graphics device driver. If I want to change the resolution of any display, you need to check the specification of the laptop or your computer to change the resolution of your display panel. If I click on the start, if I click on settings, then there is an option for me to select the display, and I can even right click, choose display settings. I have the same panel over here. I can enable or disable the night light. So night light is basically it will block the blue light. If I have enabled the night light, I can even change the strength of the night light, and I can even enable the timing. I can schedule the night light when I want it, the night light to be enabled. So if I want to set the night light from 9 a.m. and to 10 p.m. or let us say 11 p.m., then I'll set the night light for this duration, and I'll go back again to the display. And if I want to change the resolution, I need to check the manufacturer, the laptop manufacturer tech specs to change the resolution. I can lower the resolution. If I want to set 1280 by 720, I can change the resolution. If I keep the changes, this resolution will be set and this resolution will be 1280 by 720. If I don't want, then I can change this resolution. I can keep the changes. It is always recommended to keep the resolution as per your laptop technical specification. I will change the resolution to 1080 by 1920 by 1080. So this is the resolution which my laptop supports. I will keep this resolution. I'll keep the changes. And if I want to scale, if I want to zoom in, then I can change the scaling to 125%. So basically now you can see the font and the text is much bigger. If I want to change to 150%, I can change it to 150%, or even I can change it to 175%, so that the font and the text looks much bigger. And I will keep it recommended 100%. And if I want to change the high definition range, I can click on high definition range. If you are having the streaming content of high dynamic range, then you can have this option enabled, high dynamic range. Otherwise, the video content will be played in SDR range, standard dynamic range. And whenever you use high dynamic range, then the consumption of the battery will be high. I'll go to the display again. Then there is an advanced panel. So now for the display, we can see what is the advanced display parameters over here. We'll not be able to change any of the settings here. We can only see the information, what type of display we have, and what is the maximum resolution the display supports. This display panel supports 1920 by 1080, and we have the 60 Hz refresh rate. If you want to use multiple display, you can also use multiple display with Windows. You can select multiple display, and once the display is connected to any of the port on your laptop, then you will be able to detect the display. You will be able to move some of the application to another display panel and keep the applications which you are working on your laptop monitor. If you want to check what is the device driver which is being used by your graphics, then you can right click and click on device manager. Select the display adapter. I am using the VMware virtual machine, so my display adapter will be the virtual display adapter. In your case, if you are using the physical laptop or physical computer, then the display adapter will be either Intel based or AMD Radeon based or NVIDIA based graphics adapter. In this section of the Windows 11 course, we will see how to change the date and time. If I click on the Start menu and click on the Settings option, once the setting panel is opened, there is an option for changing the date and time. I can see there is an option under Time and Language. I can simply click on Time and Language to choose the date and time settings. This is the current date and time, or else I can search for date and time. From the search option, I'll be able to select the date and time. Now, this is the current date and time, and this is the time zone for the clock which I have set. This is set to Indian Standard Time. If I want to change to a different time zone, then I should be able to change to a different time zone. If you are staying in a different country, then you can come here under time zone and choose the time zone according to your country. So I'll set it to Indian Standard Time. And if I want to make the clock to appear under the system tray, I have disabled the clock under the system tray. If I want to enable this, I can enable this. The clock is shown here under the system tray. So I'll disable this. And if I want to enable the clock under the system tray, I can enable the clock to be shown inside the system tray. So now we'll be able to see there is a clock inside the system tray. I'll disable this clock, and I can even change the language settings from this option. If I click on language and region, I can select which language and region. So my language, I'll set it to English United States. So this is the default language, or I can choose English India. Now we can also set the region of the location. I'll set it to my current location, and I will keep this as default under recommended. I'll go back to, I will keep this as recommended, which is default. I will go back to time, and if I select the time again, we can also add additional clocks. From this option, if I want to add multiple clocks, I'll be able to add multiple clocks. I will rename this clock as Singapore, and I will set the time zone to Singapore, and I can even add another clock for a different time zone. I will set it to US Central Time Zone. I'll select the time zone for US Central. I will click on apply. Now we have set the clock for 3 different time zone, and if I enable this clock under the system tray, easily I will be able to access the time zone for 3 different time zone. One is for the India, and one is for Singapore, and one is for US Central. So my clock, I have set it to 3 different time zone. This is for Indian time zone, this is for Singapore time zone, and this is for US Central time zone. So we have seen how to change the date and time settings, and also we have added 2 different time zone clocks. In this topic of the Windows 11 course, we will see how to configure the Windows security in Windows 11 operating system. To configure Windows security, I need to click on Start, go to the settings, and there is an option for security. There is an option privacy and security. So we have the option privacy and security. So I need to select this privacy and security. I need to select Windows security over here. If I select Windows security, we can see this is the suite of tool which will be included in Windows security. So Windows security was earlier called as Windows Defender. There are 2 variants of Defender. One is a free tool which will be included with Windows 10 and Windows 11 operating system. This is called as Windows Defender. This is an antivirus tool. And there is also another premium subscription based tool which is included with Office 365 package, that is called as Microsoft Defender. And Microsoft Defender is available for iOS, Android, PC, and Mac operating system, which will be a paid subscription based Microsoft Defender antivirus tool. And if I select virus and threat protection, so basically it is always recommended to keep your operating system up to date with service packs, patches, and any other critical updates like antivirus definition files, malware removable tools. So we need to check periodically about the Windows update. So any other updates which are required for Windows Defender, that will be included within the Microsoft update itself. So if I go to the settings and if I select Windows Update, the antivirus definition tool for Windows Defender, that will be included. I can see there is a definition updates. So these are the definition updates which will be used by the Windows Defender. So Windows Defender is a free tool which will be available in Microsoft Windows 10 and Windows 11 operating system. And if I click on privacy and security, if I go to Windows security, I'll go to virus and threat protection. If I select virus and threat protection, I can see I'll be able to do quick scan. If I run the quick scan, basically it is going to scan the files and folders where the threats are commonly found. I can cancel the quick scan, and I can even select the scan options. There are quick scan, full scan, custom scan, and there is an offline scan for Microsoft Defender antivirus. If I select full scan, it is going to scan the entire drive, and if I want to select a particular file, a particular folder, or any other drive, I can select custom scan. If I select scan, then I will get an option to choose the file or folder. So I'll select the file, the downloaded file, which I think it might contain virus. So I have selected the folder and I'll scan for this particular folder, the download folder, where I have downloaded multiple exe files and other files. So let it scan. At any point of time, if you want to cancel, you can cancel the scan. And you can also check the protection history. So what was the history and what Microsoft has recommended and what actions were taken. So all this information will be under protection history. So I'll go back to virus and threat protection. So now if I want to manage the settings, I can click on manage settings. I'll be able to enable or disable the real-time protection and drive protection, cloud. So all these options I'll be able to enable or disable. So if you disable this, you need to click on yes again, and it is recommended to keep it enabled if you are not using any third-party antivirus. So basically, Windows Defender is similar to any other antivirus like Avast, AVG, McAfee, quick Kaspersky. So these are third-party antivirus software tools which are available as a 7 days trial or 30 days trial, after which you need to purchase these tool. Either it can be purchased via offline store or online store. And if you are using any other third-party antivirus tool, then you can consider these to be turning off. Like if you are using McAfee or any other antivirus tool, you can turn off all these options. You can simply use your third-party antivirus software. So when you don't use any third-party antivirus software, it is always recommended to keep all these settings. I'll go to manage settings. I'll turn on all the settings. Yeah. I'll turn on this tamper protection as well. And I will see manage settings again. Okay. So these settings I have turned on, and I can even set up the ransomware protection for OneDrive. If I select set up OneDrive, I don't have OneDrive access, so I'll not be able to set up. And I will close this. And as I said, Windows Update includes all the definition files for the Defender antivirus tool. Either you can check the updates from here, protection updates. You can check for the updates, or if you have already configured, already scheduled the Windows update, it will automatically download all the critical updates, which includes the definition files as well. And if you want to protect your account, you can protect your account. Either it can be Microsoft account or it can be Windows, your local account. You can use Windows Allo for passwordless authentication. You can use infrared camera face recognition or even the smart card. And you'll be able to set up your PIN using this option, manage sign in option. You can use security key, password, and PIN and facial recognition. You'll be able to set up from this. And if I select the account protection again, and this is for your Microsoft online account. For this, Windows will recommend, if you are not using multi-factor authentication, it will recommend to use multi-factor authentication for sign in. And if I select firewall and network protection, under firewall and network protections, we have three options: one for domain network, one for private network, and the other one is for public network. Domain network, we know that, so this is the corporate network where the network is a secured network. So this blocking all incoming connections is not required. I can simply turn on or off the firewall. So I'll keep the firewall on, and So because I know this is a corporate network environment, the network is very much secured. I'll keep this Windows Defender firewall on and I will disable this. And if I go back, I'll select private network. So private network, it can be either home network or work network. This is also very much secured network where other users will not be able to access your computer or they will not be able to scan your computer because the network zone where you are in, it is not a public network. You are at your home network and the scope of accessing your network from other places are very much minimal. So in this case, you can either block all incoming connection if you feel that your network is exposed and you are accessing and you are continuously accessing unwanted websites and you think that your network is exploited, then you can enable this option so that so that the incoming connections will be blocked. If you have opened any other ports unknowingly, if you have opened any ports like telnet or ftp or any other which are unsecured ports, the other connection will not be allowed. And if you select public network, then so this particular network is not a very much secured network. Definitely, it is not a secured network. You are in a public network where multiple users, many hackers, they will be able to access your computer. So it is always recommended to block all your incoming connections. So this is also same like home network. If you think that your network is exploited and if your network is vulnerable, then definitely you need to block all incoming connections. So always remember, keep your password complex, use a trusted antivirus software, apply patches, never share any password in websites, especially when using public computer. I cannot emphasize more. Your data is yours, don't lose it. And if you select apps and browser control, you have the option. So this is basically, so whenever you are downloading any executable files like application files or any other files from the website and the internet or even from the Microsoft store, so these settings will control the applications. So there is a smart app control, there is a reputation based protection. If I select the reputation based protection, you will be able to choose whenever you are downloading from the internet, you can turn on or off. If you turn off, basically it is not going to scan the applications, the exe files, whatever you are downloading from the internet. And if you turn on, the files will be scanned. So similarly, when you are using the smart screen, whatever files you are downloading from the Microsoft Edge, all the files and all the exe files will be scanned. If there is any malicious content within the files, then it is going to block. If you enable, I recommend keep this enabled so that let the Microsoft Edge do the smart screening of your downloaded files. And there are also options for phishing protection. Check all these options which are required and you'll be able to turn on or off according to your needs. And if you have downloaded any unwanted apps, either to block it or if you want to unblock it, you can decide. And if you have enabled this, definitely it is going to block for the installation. If you have downloaded any files or exe files from the internet, either it can be gaming applications or gaming applications exe files, those content, those applications, gaming application, if it contains any malware or ransomware, then definitely you need to block all those exe files. So you need to turn on, you don't want to install all those apps. Under device security, we have an option for core isolation. This is to block or to enable or disable the drivers. Basically, these are signed drivers or unsigned drivers. If I don't want the unsigned drivers to be used for my devices, I can block those device drivers. And if I select the device security again, so security processor, Under security processor, we know that nowadays all the hardware manufacturer includes the TPM module itself. This is additional layer of encryption. And also we have an option for secure boot. Secure boot will prevent any malicious software while the computer boots. And there is also option for device or data encryption. This is to encrypt the drives using the BitLocker. And if I want to encrypt the drive, then I'll be able to encrypt using the BitLocker drive encryption. If I turn on BitLocker, then this particular drive will be encrypted. And I will go back to privacy and security. I'll go to Windows security. And if I select, so under device performance and health, so this is the general checkup of my computer and the operating system. So there is a health report for the application and the operating system, and also for the storage capacity and Windows time service. So family options, this is only available at certain markets, not all the markets or not all the regions are having this family options. And I'll be able to see the protection history. So this is basically the recommendation what Windows has recommended. Whenever there is a risk or threat or any other malwares which are identified by the Windows Defender, so it is going to recommend the action which needs to be taken. So this is my virtual machine which I am running. I don't have any third-party antivirus software. On my base machine, on my host machine, I have a McAfee antivirus running. If I select McAfee and if I select the settings, if I go to the settings on my host machine, if I go to privacy and security, you can see because I am using the McAfee antivirus software, if I select virus and threat protection and if I go to home, then this is the Windows security. And if I select virus and threat protection, you can see I'm using a third-party software for virus and threat protection, which is McAfee antivirus software. I'm not using Defender to protect against any malware or viruses. I'm using the third-party solution. Since I'm using the third-party solution, the Defender is off. And if I go to the manage settings, I don't have any of these options turned on. So basically all these options are controlled by McAfee itself. And if I go back again, and even if I go to firewall and network protection, if I open this, so this is also controlled by McAfee itself. And if I go back for private network, this is also controlled by McAfee itself using the firewall protection. And we can see for the McAfee, we have, if I go to the McAfee console, this is the antivirus tool from McAfee, which has antivirus total protection tool for 3 devices. You can get it for 5 device, 3 device, or 10 device protection at a minimal cost. And there are multiple options available under McAfee. You will be able to turn on, off. You can do real-time scanning. You can scan one particular file, folder, or the entire drive. You can schedule the scans. Everything you will be able to do using McAfee antivirus tool. In this topic of the Windows 11 course, we will see how to download and install third-party antivirus software. I'll be downloading and installing the McAfee antivirus software. So this is the trial version which I'll be downloading. You can search in the Google for McAfee antivirus software trial version. You will get 30-day free trial version. And if you click on this option for 30-day free trial, you have to input your email ID, then you have to input your credit card information. For 30 days, it will be free, and once the 30-day period is over, it will be charged. So basically, this is a McAfee total protection up to 5 devices, and this is for 30-day free trial version what you will be downloading. I have already downloaded and I'll be installing the software, which is McAfee Total Antivirus software, McAfee Total Protection. So this is the executable file which I have double clicked, and if I select install McAfee antivirus software, which is McAfee Total Protection antivirus software, will be installed. The installation will be very quick, and you should be able to see the installation finishes within 2 to 3 minutes. The installation has successfully completed. I'll close the. Now you should be able to see the console, and these are the files which will automatically start up when the computer starts. When your operating system starts, these are the applications which will automatically start. And if I open the McAfee antivirus console, I will let it open. I will open the file explorer. I will show some other options of McAfee. And if I open the file explorer, if I go to this particular PC, and this is the C drive of my computer, if I right click, simply right click on the C drive and scan. This is going to scan the complete C drive, right? And if I want to scan only a particular file or folder, then I will go to the file or folder location. Then I can right click on top of the folder which I wanted to scan. Then there is an option to scan with McAfee. Right click and scan. So this is going to scan only the folder itself. And if I click on the home button here, we see many options for the McAfee Total Protection software. So this is the antivirus, this is for tracker removal, and you get to see my subscription. If you want to update, you can update the antivirus software itself, and also you can update the definition files. If you click on update, it is going to check for the definition files for the latest update, and it will download all the updates. If I click on home again, then you can see all the general settings, and here I can see manual scan, real-time scanning. We can even schedule the scans and quarantined items. If McAfee antivirus tool detects any threat or any vulnerabilities, everything will be quarantined, and this will be in a particular location where it will not be allowed to be accessed. And there is an option to shred the files using file shredder. You can use file shredder so that you can shred the files multiple times. Even if the files are recovered using any other method, the files will be inaccessible. Means the data what you have shred, it will be inaccessible for any of the person who is going to do any kind of recovery. And there is an option for advanced firewall. You can advanced firewall is turned on. All the incoming connection will be blocked, and you can even allow the connection. If you want to allow certain connection, you can allow the connections. To allow the connection, you need to use the Windows Defender firewall. You have to click Windows Defender firewall. Then whatever connection you wanted to allow, then you can allow those connections. Everything will be displayed under advanced firewall under McAfee tool itself. So basically you are using Windows Defender to control the blocking or allowing the connections. Either it can be inbound rules or outbound rules. You can set up inbound rules or outbound rules. Inbound rules is to block the incoming connection. Outbound rules is to block outgoing connection to the external network. I'll close this and let me see if there is any options. If you go to security report, you will fetch the report for 7 day, 30 day, or 1 year. So whatever summary report you wanted to download or you wanted to see, you'll be able to fetch all those reports under the report section. So this was about downloading and installing the McAfee Total Protection 30-day trial period version. It is always recommended to use any third-party antivirus software for real-time scanning against any vulnerabilities, threats, or any malware or ransomware. It is always better to have a third-party antivirus software compared to Windows Defender. In this section of the Windows 11 course, we will see how to uninstall application. In our previous video, we have installed applications. If I click on Start and Settings, there is an option for me to uninstall the application. I need to go to the Apps. So this is the area which I need to select. Under Settings, go to Apps, and we have to select this option, Installed Apps. If I select the installed apps, I can see the applications what I have installed. We have installed Acrobat Reader, WinZip, and Visual Studio Code in our previous video. So if I try to uninstall the Acrobat Reader, I need to select this three dotted area. If I click on three dotted area, I get Modify and Uninstall. If I select Modify, I'll be able to choose either to repair the application, or if there is any additional feature for the application, I'll be able to add those features. Some of the applications comes with multiple features. While installing, if we have not included some of the feature, I'll be able to add those feature while clicking on Modify. So if I click on Modify, if I click Next, then I'll get these options: Modify, Repair, and Remove. If I want to uninstall any application, I will remove from this computer. If I want to repair, in case if the application is not working properly and some of the files are missing, I'll be able to repair the application. And if we have not added the features related to the application, we will be able to modify. If I click on Next, and these are the features which were not added. If I want to add, then I can select any of these options to include these features. So now the features are enabled. If I click on Install, then those features will be installed. So these are the features which we left out during the installation. So I'll say this feature is not required, and I'll go back. If I want to uninstall, then I'll uninstall this application. I'll click on Remove, then I'll click on Next to completely uninstall the application. So this is one way of uninstalling the application. And if I click on Start, do you want to allow this app to make changes? If I want to uninstall, I'll click on Yes, then it is going to uninstall the application. So this is one way. And if I go to Start again, and if I search for Control Panel, there is a Control Panel. And if I open the Control Panel, there is a program. I can see there is a program here. And if I click on Program and Programs and Features, whatever applications which are installed, everything will be shown here. If I select here, and if I want to uninstall, I can come here and uninstall the application as well. If I want to change, change is basically to modify. If I click on change, because there is another uninstallation process which is going on, it is not going to happen. If I want to uninstall WinZip, I can uninstall the WinZip. If I want to uninstall Microsoft Edge, so these are the default programs which were included during the installation of Windows 11. So anyway, we are not going to uninstall any of the default programs. So only those programs which we have installed, those programs we can uninstall. And the Acrobat Reader has been successfully uninstalled. So why do we uninstall the program? We might want to free up some of the space on the disk, and some of the installation files what we have downloaded from the internet, it might have malware or virus. The antivirus system which we have installed on our operating system, it might have detected the virus on the application itself. Once it has detected, it will prompt us to uninstall the application. So Basically, we have reasons to uninstall these applications, what we have downloaded from the internet. So this way, we will be able to uninstall the application.